All right, car video for the Alita challenge. So I just want to encourage everyone who hasn't seen the movie Alita Battle Angel to get out to the theater now, pretty much because as far as my theater goes, it is pretty much done after tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day. I've been checking the schedule all day, trying to see if it had been booked. And as far as I can tell, even the Lego movie has been extended out to at least another week. But Alita is pretty much ending tomorrow. So that is a very sad thing for me because this movie is way better than you would think based on the box office. And I've been seeing reviews from people who have seen it this week, as far 5 days ago, 6 days ago, things like that, and they're all saying like, "Why did I wait so long to see this movie?" You know, and that's the way it's gone. And the media hasn't really given it any help. The media has been down on it because it's not politically correct enough, or it's not feminist enough, or I think the number one reason is that Captain Marvel was coming up, and Alita just could not be allowed to be a success, because if Alita had been a great success at the box office before Captain Marvel, then that would kind of ruin the narrative that Disney and Marvel was trying to create around not just Disney and Marvel, but the let's just say the woke crowd were trying to create around Captain Marvel. Is this is some groundbreaking, glass ceiling shattering movie, when it's really not. It's just another superhero movie. Come on, just be absolutely real. Captain Marvel is held up by the MCU. There are reviews out there saying that Captain Marvel is just okay, and it deserves the right to be just okay. Well, you wouldn't think that it's just okay when you actually look at the critic reviews, and they give it like an 80%. It has like an A on Cinema Score, and then you would look at a movie like Alita Battle Angel, and they gave it a 59% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's rotten, and on Cinema Score it has an A minus. It's like, how is it that Captain Marvel has a higher score than Alita on the Cinema Score? Alita has an A minus, Captain Marvel has an A. Like, how is that possible if it's just an okay movie? And then when you look at the audience ratings for all the, like, IMDb, you have like an 89, or up in the high 80s for user ratings, and on Rotten Tomatoes you have a 94% for user ratings. So there's obviously a huge disconnect between the what the critics are saying and what the audiences are saying. And if Captain Marvel is just an okay movie and yet it's getting an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, then how on earth is Alita getting a 59% when it has a 94% on audience scores? It's completely exposing the media bias against Alita. And anyway, the point, I didn't mean to get into all of that. I just wanted to just encourage people to give this movie a chance. Alita is what I believe the last true heroine that we will probably ever see again, because the heroines that are being pumped out now are not characters that are, they're not even human. They're less human than Alita is, and Alita is a cyborg. you know these characters are, these feminist characters are not allowed to struggle. They're not allowed to be completely human, because their whole purpose and intent in their creation was to be a, let's say, a cipher. They're just there to get a political message across. They're not there to actually be inspiring. They're there just to be a political mouthpiece. And Alita is simply She simply embodies everything that a heroine or a hero, whatever, is supposed to embody. She's selfless. She gives when she gives everything that she has, you know, and that's another thing that's inspiring about her is that, as I had said on Twitter about a day ago, that Alita had every excuse to feel sorry for herself and buy into victimhood. Right? She was basically cast out of the place where she had came from. She was orphaned in another sense. She had no memory of who she was. She had um, she had loved, and I'm, I can't really finish. I don't want to spoil the movie, but uh, let's just say by the end of the movie, she had every excuse in the world, at any point of the movie, really, to be down on herself and to buy into the victimhood. But she didn't. You know, she kept going. She held her chin up. She held her head up high, and she kept fighting. And when you contrast that with Captain Marvel, everything about Captain Marvel is about victimhood. It's about her being a victim of somebody, and usually it's men, and more often white men, but is is just based on her being who she is. It's just based on her being a victim, not her actually not being a victim or not choosing to buy into that victimhood as Alita does. Alita could do that, but she didn't. She kept fighting, and you don't hear anybody having to come to her rescue. Well, we men do have to protect her from the feminists that are attacking her, but you don't hear about any trolls attacking her or anything like that. And there's no marketing behind the movie about, you know, these people or those people don't want to see the movie. None of that is going on. No, there is no victimhood around Alita at all. So that's another reason why she's an inspirational character. Because a lot of us need to get out of the idea all the time that we're victims and we have an excuse to give up, or we have an excuse not to try harder because we're victims. Life was unfair to us. So we have an excuse to wallow in misery and to not be the best that we can be. So anyway, back to the main point. Please go see this movie. Take the Alita challenge. See the movie. Don't. We need a sequel. We need a sequel to this movie. It deserves so much better than it's getting right now. So anyway, thank you for listening.